Man fled on foot and was apprehended right there on the scene. But the second person got into a vehicle, a black Audi, and began to try to speed away. They say that officers gave loud verbal commands to try to stop that vehicle, asked the driver to show his hands, but the driver refused and continued to drive at a high rate of speed toward the officers. And there on this scene, we saw a Bladensburg police officer, a police cruiser vehicle that had sustained a lot of damage, as well as a lot of bullet casings, shell casings, and evidence markers there on the road. So what we do understand is officers discharged their service weapons, we're told, in self-defense of that incident. And then the vehicle got on the BW Parkway southbound, started heading toward Good Hope Road. And that is where the driver of that vehicle was apprehended and then complained of having a gunshot wound to the shoulder. That person was transported to the hospital for non-life-threatening injuries. And we're also told by the Bladensburg Police Department that that vehicle, that black Audi, was confirmed stolen by the D.C. Police Department. They're asking anyone with additional information to please reach out to Crime Solvers in Prince George's County or here in Bladensburg as well. And we'll get some more information as soon as this press conference begins in terms of body-worn camera footage or which police agency is now going to be undertaking this investigation, since it is now a police-involved shooting. So we'll send it back to you guys for now, and as soon as we get more information, we'll have that updated for you at 7. Mm-hmm.
All right, final mic check. Here they come. Final mic check. They're coming. Stand by. Check, check. They're coming. They're coming. They're coming. Here we go. Come on. No. That was the same.
Yes, it did.
No, it's okay. I'm professional. I'm a professional. You can ask any questions.
Good morning. My name is Kimberly Green, Kimberly Green. I'm the Public Information Officer for the Bladensburg Police Department. We would like to say thank you all for coming. We will be updating everyone on the officer-involved shooting that occurred late last night or early this morning. Present today is Chief Tyrone Collington, TYRONECOLLINGTON. Deputy Chief Cedric Dickerson, CEDRICDICKERSON, and Lieutenant Richard Poole, RICHARDPOOLE. After the Chief speaks, we will entertain a few questions. It is important to know this investigation is still being conducted by the Bladensburg Police Department and the Prince George's County Special Investigations Special Response Team. Present today is Chief Collington. He's going to speak on behalf of Bladensburg Police Department.
Good morning. Again, I want to say thank you for coming out this morning. We had an incident that occurred late last night, early this morning. The Bladensburg Police Department, along with the Prince George's County Police Department, is investigating a police-involved shooting that occurred early this morning in Bladensburg, Maryland. Preliminarily, investigation revealed that about 11:51 p.m., officers were dispatched to the 5100 block of 57th Avenue for the report of two males wearing full ski masks and acting suspiciously, tampering with motor vehicles. Once in the area, officers observed two males wearing those ski masks and attempted to speak with them. One male fled on foot and was apprehended. A second male entered into a vehicle and attempted to run over our officers. The officers gave loud verbal commands to the driver of the vehicle to stop and show his hands, which he refused all commands and continued to drive at a high rate of speed towards our officers in an attempt to run them over and flee the area. The male fled in an automobile, striking the rear of one of our police cruisers, marked police cruisers, causing significant damage to the vehicle. Officers discharged their weapons in self-defense. The vehicle was pursued into the District of Columbia, where the suspect was subsequently detained in the 2300 block of Good Hope Road, Southeast Washington, D.C. The unidentified male was transported to a local hospital for non-life-threatening injury, wounds he sustained from the gunshot from the officers. The suspect vehicle was also confirmed stolen through Washington, D.C. We ask that anyone that has any information about this incident to please contact the Bladensburg Police Department at 301-864-6080 or the Prince George's County Police Department at 301-516-5721. Callers wishing to remain anonymous may also call Crime Solvers at 1-866-411-TIPS at 8477. Text PGPD plus your message to crimes. Again, I want to say this was a very significant incident that occurred. I want to commend our officers for always stepping forward, taking on those risks to protect and keep this community safe. I want to also thank our Prince George's County partners who always, when we need assistance, always willing to step up and assist, give us their resources to solve these crimes that occur in the town of Bladensburg. I want to assure our residents that our officers are working and they are operating within the law and they're doing the best job that they can in these trying and turbulent times. But we want to make sure that our community stays safe, and we want to send a strong message that none of our officers come to work intended to be ran over by suspects driving stolen vehicles. And for that, I'd say I commend our officers for the job that they do. I commend our officers for the bravery that they display each and every day. And with that, I will entertain a couple of questions that you may have. And as Public Information Officer Kimberly Green said, this investigation is still ongoing. And I failed to mention that in this process, none of our officers were injured in this process, nor was there any other innocent bystanders or residents from this community injured during this incident.
How many officers fired shots? Do you know how many shots were fired?
I don't know the number. Again, this is a very early preliminary investigation, but 3 officers were involved in discharging their department-issued weapons.
And sir, when the first attempt to run the officers over happened, were those officers outside the vehicle or inside the vehicle?
Well, we had officers outside the vehicles as well as inside the vehicles. That's a very good question. I'm glad you raised that question, because this individual was clearly intended on running over our officers. He rammed one of our cruisers and attempted to ram a second cruiser, but that officer was able to graciously move over and allow this individual to get around him, to prevent collision to the rear of his vehicle. So he sent a strong message to us that he did not intend to obey or comply with any of the officer's commands, and he clearly wanted to make his escape good by any means necessary, to include running over my officers.
And is there body worn camera video available for review?
Yes, I did review the body cam worn video, and we do have that. We will make that available later. As I stated earlier, this investigation is very preliminary, and right now our partners from Prince George's County CERT team, they will be leading this investigation, working in tandem with our criminal investigations detectives.
For these 2 suspects, I know that you guys have mentioned that they were near these cars, near the intersection of 57th Avenue. Were they trying to get into those cars? Were you talking about Cadillac murders? Were you talking about just breaking into cars? Can you tell us what you guys may know?
Well, according to our witness that called this in, and again, I want to commend our residents for always have been that second set of eyes for us in the community. But in this instance, our caller advised that she witnessed these individuals going up and down, tampering with motor vehicles to the tune that she was afraid to get out of her own car to walk into her apartment, because she was fearful that she may be the victim of some sort of crime. And I want to thank her for calling that in for us.
Are these guys known to you by any chance?
No, we have no, to my knowledge, we have no involvement with these individuals. These individuals do not reside in our town. In fact, they don't even reside in our state. These individuals are both from District of Columbia.
And when it comes to their ages, are you able to tell us their ages?
Yeah, I would say they're both adult males.
Have you had incidents of car thefts or carjackings in that area?
Yes, we have had carjackings as well as car break-ins and car thefts in that area.
And Bladensburg doesn't, I don't hear of many things like this or situations like this happening. How scary was that for your officers? How long of a period of time from beginning to end was the state?
Well, I would say, let me just break your question down. First, it was very scary for our officers, right? Our officers come to work and they have a 4,000-pound weapon speeding at you. You're going to be forced to make split-second decisions. So this was very, very fearful for our officers at this point. And the second half of your question is, yeah, we are glad that our town is predominantly safe. We try to do everything we can, show a presence, work with our community. So this type of crime, yes, is very alarming to us. and we will continue to show a presence down in that area to make sure that these type of crimes, don't occur.
Chief, during the chase, how fast would you say the suspects and the officers were going?
That information I don't have at this point. Again, it's very preliminary in this investigation, so I do not have that information at this time. I will say that this individual did drive his car with his hood fully extended after ramming into our cars, and he made it from here back to Southeast DC with his hood wide open. So it's a miracle that no motorists were injured and no innocent pedestrians walking along the sidewalk or crosswalks were injured by this individual who was hell-bent on escaping from us.
Can I ask you about the timeline? So after he was shot, he continued driving?
Yes, ma'am. Yes. The officers had no clue at that point if he was hit because he still sped away after ramming one cruiser and attempting to run into another cruiser and then continuing his escape in a stolen automobile back to Southeast DC Good Hope Road, 2300 block of Good Hope Road, Southeast Washington, DC.
And where was he shot again?
Well, at this point, we don't have that information. Well, he was shot in the upper torso somewhere. That's all I can say about that.
Chief, can you clarify which department ultimately apprehended the suspect? Was it Bladensburg Police? Was it BGPD?
So it was Bladensburg PD because we were in pursuit of the individual, but we did make contact with our partners in Washington, D.C. Metropolitan Police Department. And once we got back, we made notifications to our partners in Prince George's County Police Department to assist us with the investigation because we always want to be transparent in these investigations, especially in these trying times that we're living in now.
And that suspect's still in the hospital this morning?
I'm sorry?
That suspect's still in the hospital this morning?
Yes, he is.
I know you said the criminal charges are still pending in your news release. What type of charges are these suspects potentially looking at?
Well, he's looking at felony charges, I'll say that, and we will, put the charges out later. But he's looking at felony charges. You attempted to run over a uniformed police officer in the line of duty in a stolen vehicle that was recovered in our town, as well as some other charges that he'll be looking at.
Thank you, Chief.
All right, thank you.
The hood of his car, of his stolen car, does that mean his windshield was like blocked?
If the hood come up, you have about maybe 4 to 6 inches of space that you can look through. How he navigated that, you have to take that up with him. I have no clue. I can't speak for his driving skills. All right, thank you.
Thank you. All right. Thank you all for coming out. This is going to conclude our press conference. We'll continue to update you guys as the investigation goes on.
And thank you for having a 6 a.m. presser.
Thank you guys. I appreciate it. No problem. I don't.
Somebody, if you guys want to give me your card so I can update the text or
What was that? That's yours, right?
This you? That's not.
I try. There's something here. I don't know.